End from the Emirates. 4 games to go. That's all. I think all of us are going to enjoy a little bit of a break this summer, aren't we? From Arsenal, as a police helicopter hovers overhead here at the Emirates. There is a bit of a protest going on outside about the Cronkies. Heard a few chants. I think the fans have done a bit of a lap at the stadium. We could hear the chants a little bit, but it's nothing on the scale of Everton or anything like that. It's not a giant protest by any means. I think just a couple of hundred maybe out there, if that. Wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see another big protest here. It will probably be on the last weekend of the season against Brighton. Players are out warming up in front of me. If any of you are even remotely bothered about... yes, Chris, you're right, mate. Even remotely bothered about this one. It's tough to get up for this one, I have to say. All day today I've been thinking about, this one. It's just really hard to get up for these now. It's all Thursday night was such an absolute kick in the teeth for all of us, wasn't it? But it's hard to get up for these last 4 games. And you look at the team today, it's not really inspiring, I have to say. Willian starting, Danny Ceballos starting, El Neni in midfield. It's not... I don't know, you can kind of already tell how this game's going to go before kickoff's even started in terms of how Arsenal are going to play. But I'll go for the team anyway. It's Leno in goal. We've got a defence of Chambers at right back, Gabriel and Rob Holding at centre back. Looks like Bukayo Saka is playing left back. Obviously no Granit Xhaka today, he's injured. Midfield is Ceballos and El Neni, and then it looks like a front 4 of Pepe, Smith Rowe, Willian and Gabriel Martinelli starting up front. Substitutes today: Runarsson, Bellerin, Tierney, Lacazette, Odegaard, Aubameyang, Suarez, Partey and Nketiah. So lots of changes. 6, I think, from the game on Thursday night. Lots of changes. And I think the only interesting thing about this game really is the fact that if Arsenal win, then West Brom go down. And yes, it's been a crap season. Yes, it's been pretty miserable. But I think tiny little bit of satisfaction if Arsenal can send Sam Allardyce down for the first time in his career. It's nothing to celebrate, obviously, but still, it's quite nice if sends Sam Allardyce down, because I think he's too popular amongst us Arsenal fans. Anyway, if any of you who are slightly interested, the West Brom team is Johnston, Furlong, Bartley, ex-Arsenal of course, Ajay, Robinson, Phillips, Pereira, Townsend, Diagne, Gallagher and Yokosulu. Right, hold on, let me flick this round because the players are out. Probably more interesting for you to have a look at this. Any protests today? Chris says not really. There's about 100, 200 out there. I think I've heard. You can hear them chanting at the moment. The police. I think there's more police, to be honest, than there are fans out there. It's not really it's not a huge protest. Not like the Everton game or anything like that. Like I said earlier, I think if there's going to be a big protest between now and the summer, it's going to be on that final weekend of the season against Brighton, isn't it? On the final day. Rancid said, why no Balogun today? Well, Balogun played. He played a full 90 minutes on Friday night for the under-23. So did Miguel Aziz. It was an important game. They needed to sort of guarantee them, keep themselves away from relegation. The under-23s, they needed something against West Ham. They got a 2-2 draw, and both of those played the full 90 minutes on Friday night. So I'm not surprised to see those two not involved today. It would have been nice, certainly, but understandable that they're not involved. And Matt Ryan isn't involved either. He is ill, we're told by Arsenal. Willian masterclass incoming. He's scoring a brace, says Agent E. 36 games, no goals so far for Willian since he's joined for Arsenal. Money well spent. Under-23 manager should be sacked as well, says Patrick. That under-23's manager is Steve Bold. Where is Reece? I don't know. Reece is here. I saw Reece turn up with the squad, but he's obviously 19th man today, not involved at all again. But he is here. He did arrive with the rest of the team. Don't know. I didn't see whose name it was, but the thought process behind starting El Neni, Ceballos. I don't know. I wouldn't have done. 4 games to go now. He's obviously going back. He's not going to be here next season. Is it worth starting Ceballos now? But I suppose, if you're going to be resting. If Xhaka's injured, you're going to be resting Partey, then who else is there to play at the moment? Yes, Aziz could have played if he was involved, but he's not involved because he played for the under-23s, so that's about why. Jacob, when was the last time? What was that? Jacob B. Charles, when was the last time you can remember Josh or Stan watching an Arsenal game? To be honest, Josh was actually here pretty regularly before COVID. He was here for the Olympiacos game. Might have even been here for the West Ham game, which was the last game before COVID struck and football went all behind closed doors. He was turning up quite a lot, Josh. I mean, Stan never comes. Literally never. He's here for the cup finals. They didn't even go to Baku. Josh went to that as well. So, you know, you never see Stan Kroenke here. But to be fair to Josh Kroenke, he was coming fairly regularly before COVID struck. And obviously he's not going to come at the moment while fly over to America for these games. But he was doing it before COVID. To give him some minute little bit of credit. But not too much. Guts. Charles, who's your number one transfer target this summer? What, unlimited? If I had unlimited money? You're talking about realistic, I presume. I don't know, it's a hard one. I don't know my number one realistic transfer target this summer. Hold on, let me just move this because the players are going to come in and start doing their shooting drills now. Let me get this in the way so you can actually see the guys. Who would I want? I really... I like Basuma at Brighton. I really do. I think every time I've seen him this season, he's been great. It was great when Arsenal played against him. I think he would really add something to the Arsenal midfield. I'm a big fan of Odsonne Edouard up at Celtic. I think he's going to be. I think he's got all the talent to go on and be a really good striker in a few years. So he's one of them. I really think they need to get themselves a right back. I think that's one of the really key areas this summer is a right back, but I'm not too sure who that would be. You know, a lot of people saying Hakimi and people like that, but I'm not sure Arsenal are going to be able to afford Hakimi, to be honest, this summer. Would he want to come anyway from Inter Milan, who just won the title over in Serie A, obviously in the Champions League? Does he really want to come to Arsenal? So I don't know, but you know, that sort of player, someone who's going to really bring dynamism to the right hand side, kind of like Tierney does on the left hand side. But yeah, I am a big Yves Bissouma fan. I think he'd be a very exciting signing. Really add something to this Arsenal midfield. Like you saying, Lamptey for the right back. Yeah, what I've seen of Lamptey, I like him. But I haven't seen enough to really champion him as my number one choice for a right back position. Do I think Kroenke will invest? I do. Well, I think he will allow funds to be spent. Yes. Where those funds come from, I highly doubt they're going to be Kroenke's own pocket. But I think Arsenal will spend some money this summer. Yes. You know, I'm not talking on the scale of Chelsea or Manchester City or anything like that, but I think they'll get themselves at least sort of 2 or 3 big players in the summer to improve the team, the starting 11. John C. there talking, it's an interesting one. CW, how about being pragmatic and seeing the positives of this situation? Yes, it's bad. However, these things have to get really bad to make real change. Surely Arteta as the number one fall guy is wrong. Yes, I absolutely agree. He's not the number one fall guy for me. Because Arteta, I wrote a piece on Goal today, big feature before the game. You'll find it on Goal. I think it will still be on the homepage now if you want to look at it. But it's all about basically Stan Kroenke in the 14 years of decline that Arsenal have had since he arrived on the scene. You know, plenty of people point the fingers at managers and everything like that, but everything that's gone wrong at this club at the moment over the last few years, it's down to one man, and that man's Stan Kroenke. It's not down to anyone else. Years of disinterest of an absent owner, everything come back to him. Do you think big players will want to come to Arsenal? I still think they will. Look, Arsenal pay well. They're in London. They're a big Premier League team. You know, Arsenal can still attract players. No worry about that. And it doesn't have to be big players. It really doesn't have to be big players. It just has to be good players. It has to be good scouting for once, not just typical Arsenal. You know, terrible scouting, and just got to scout players well and get good ones in. They don't always have to be big players. You know, look at some of the success stories all around the country in recent years about players coming from lower divisions or moving from other English clubs. You just got to look at the recruitment, get your recruitment right. It doesn't have to be big name players. Do you think Leno will leave? I think there's a chance he will, yes. I don't know for certain he will, but I think there's a good chance. Arsenal are certainly looking at goalkeepers. I wrote a story the other day saying they're looking at Andre Nana at Ajax, and they are also very keen on David Raya at Brentford as well, so they are looking at goalkeepers, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if Bernd Leno leaves. Centre-back position is going to be interesting next summer. What are Arsenal going to do with the centre-backs? You've got William Saliba, you've got Gabriel. It's interesting. You think how much money Arsenal have invested in those two centre-backs in the last 2 seasons? 27 million on Saliba, more than that, 30 million on Gabriel, and then you start that game on Thursday night, biggest game in a long, long time. Gabriel on the bench, Saliba not even at the club. Hasn't played a single minute yet. So that's like over £50 million worth of centre-backs you've invested in, real young quality centre-backs, and neither of them playing. So it's going to be interesting next season. Are these two going to really step up? Is Saliba going to get a chance? Is Gabriel going to establish himself as the number one here? It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the centre-backs next season. No, I wouldn't take Ramsey back. Who's that? Atish? No. Love Aaron Ramsey, one of my favourite players in the recent Arsenal era, but no, I wouldn't take Aaron Ramsey back. It's been and done now. Karen, what are the futures of Guendouzi and Willock? I think Guendouzi certainly will leave in the summer. He will only have a year left on his contract. I can't see how he stays. Arsenal will be very keen to get him out, get some sort of money for him. In terms of Willock, I don't know. It's going to be a big decision for Arsenal and him. Someone asked me about Julian Brandt there. I like Julian Brandt. I think I wouldn't be averse to that at all. If Arsenal get a decent fee for him, still young, plenty of room for improvement. Yes, it hasn't quite worked out for him at Dortmund, but he's a very good player. Sakea, thoughts on Maidenhead season? Doing well, very well. Bit up and down, but a good season for Maidenhead. Looking forward to getting down York Road next season. Someone just see, I didn't miss that, Messi or Ronaldo? Messi all day long, 100%. Oh, well, I can't see Arsenal signing Arwa this summer. You never know, they might do. I mean, they obviously very much wanted him last year. I wonder how expensive he's going to be this summer if Arsenal are going to really struggle to get something at that price. You think Lyon, you think they probably want about 50 million for him again? And it looks like they're certainly going to be in the Champions League next season, Lyon. So. Will they want to sell? I don't know. It's going to be really hard. We saw how hard it is last season. When you try and deal with Jean-Michel Wallace, you've got to really spend big. And I do wonder if Arsenal are going to be able to stretch to that sort of transfer fee for a player. When do you think Daniel X bid will come in? I'm not sure when it will come in, but soon. I would say the next week or so. Camilo, how is your knee? It's all right at the moment. I missed my operation obviously because it got cancelled because of COVID, but it's actually been all right because I've not been doing any running or anything on it. It's survivable. Played 2 rounds of golf recently and it's been fine for that. So thanks for asking. Still can hear some of the small protest outside. Can still hear chants of "We want Kroenke out" from coming outside the stadium. Wildan, I think Willian will get his first Arsenal goal today. Well, better late than never. 36 games so far, no goals. I think I'd probably have scored more than Willian if I'd have got 36 chances for Arsenal this season. Right, well the players are heading back in now, guys. Which is my time to head in and get myself a cup of tea and get ready for kick-off. We're 15 minutes away from kick-off now. Not quite got the excitement levels as recent games, is it? But anyway, let's try and make the best of a bad situation. Hopefully get some sort of goals today and entertainment, because they've been in short supply recently, especially at home. So have a good one, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.